so I'm going to explain a situation that occurred. I'm going to mainly focus on the corsetry aspect, but I do have to give some details, because I am wearing a corset right now, just so that it's known. I am wearing a corset. I do like corsets. I don't deny that. I just flashed you my corset. Completely different type of flashing. And anyway, so back in 2013, after doing an online research to find country music concerts in the San Antonio area, I only found one. And this was in March of 2013. Today is the 25th of November 2020. So in March of 2013, he's still a country music artist, Stoney LaRue. He was having a concert that weekend, and because I've never done any technical country music dancing, by technicalities, because being in my car and shaking the car with my booty as I'm dancing probably does not count as country music dancing, since there's two-step and Texas two-step. That's probably more well known, and me driving a car into a country music concert to shake the car with my booty as I dance probably is not the most normal thing. Although, since there's that whole pandemic thing, that might actually be a thing at this point. Because I don't know if they allow you to do the Texas two-step or the two-step. But yeah, I can shake my car. I could do quite a bit. Anyway, so I went online, I look it up, and the only place is for 100 square mile radius, for what I looked at, was the Stoney LaRue concert at Cowboys Dancehall. Now, I live near Austin, and apparently it's the live music capital of the world, so there's an issue in reference to that. But obviously I survived, because that's after that situation is how my son and I wound up in Washington State. So, anyway, so I went to Cowboys Dancehall, and I figure I'm going to dance how I'm going to dance. I mean, I'll learn how to do the Texas two-step is what it was called, but I'm going to wear my clothes. I'm going to wear my shoes. I'm going to wear how I want to wear what I'm going to wear. And so I showed up in a corset it was an underbust corset, so it's like from here to here, and, you know, whatever shirt, and I had jeans on, and I had heels on. There was glitter on my jeans, or rhinestones, so it worked out. And yeah, learned how to Texas two-step the first night, and was also able to check out where all of the emergency exits were, as well as the smoking section. For someone as myself, it is very important that I know where the smoking section is. It's very, very important. I know I am not the only one. So, I read around, and there was a situation with a biological adult, but not old enough to drink, male who had M's on his hands, and I upset him a little because I asked if he was old enough to be out past his curfew, and if his mom and dad happened to know that he was out and he wasn't in bed for night time. Apparently, that particular individual was a little bit of an arrogant male, and the bouncers laughed at him a lot because they had never seen a female put him into his place. Anyway, he showed up in the velour sort of jumpsuit, frosted bleached hair, like, you know, think the 1990s Backstreet Boys. Although I actually liked their music, and NSYNC as well. You know, think of those guys, like the hairstyle of the, you know, the with that, and yeah. although they were cuter by far than that particular, just personal preference. Anyway, so just throwing that out. I mean, I know that there is one who has an allergic reaction to vagina, but that's okay. He's still a very good-looking male. There is absolute. I can look. I know better than to touch, but I know he has an allergic reaction to vagina, and I am not offended by that at all. Anyway, so the following night is the night of the country music concert. I learned that I was way earlier than I thought, because I thought I was late. And the bouncer who checked me in did not look at me and think that I like country music. I mean, just because I have a pixie hairstyle with bright red hair and a whole bunch of tattoos, I know I'm not the only person who has tattoos who likes country music. Now, in my defense, probably a lot of people from New Jersey do like country music. Again, don't necessarily look as I do. So, is what it is. But I had shown up, explained to him why I had gone the night before, and then was freaking out because the parking lot was empty, and I thought that that was all of the people who parked their cars with the valet. And I learned that there's not a valet. Or there might be a valet now. I don't know, but back in 2013 there wasn't a valet. And so, run around inside, go out to the smoking section, talk with the other bouncers, and learn that there's a second story on the floor. Okay, well, I better find where that is. Figured out where it was, went and checked out where the exits were up there. I learned that by the mechanical bull where I got zapped was where the stairs are. And so run up the stairs, go through the different doors, and not all of them opened, and then there was this area where a guy was playing a guitar, and I'm going to make fun of myself with this. So I was there to see a country music concert. And there was a guy in this room who was holding a guitar, which I was at the club to see a country music concert. So this guy who was in this room that was green was playing a guitar. But because of my thoughts and where I was thinking, I was not paying attention to the fact that he could have possibly been Stoney LaRue. So he asks me, can I help you? And I look at him and go, yeah, I'm just making sure I know where the exits are, da-da-da-da, and explain that whole thing. And he's like, well, why would you need to know that where the exits are? And explain that I grew up in New Jersey, and then the stuff that went on in New York City, in the different boroughs in the 1980s and 1990s. And so I was like, yeah, I just want to make sure that I know where all the exits are. Plus, you know, military, there is a thing on knowing where that sort of stuff is for safety. Bunch of other aspects. He was like, oh, okay. So then he found out that I was there to see, essentially him, the concert. And you know, he asked why I was there. I said, oh, I'm here to see Stoney LaRue. I'm just also making sure I know where the exits are. And he smiled and he put his guitar off to the side. He's like, so you're here to see Stoney LaRue? Is the concert? Yeah, but right now I'm looking for the exits. Because that's important to know. I just need to know that. And so later in the evening, he had been on stage. He stopped playing the guitar that he had in the green room. And then the spotlight came on in the area I was standing in. And he pointed to the area I was standing in, and he was like, thank you, military and veterans in San Antonio. Out the door. Like, I just Wait, what? I don't know if you're talking to me or talking to everybody else in the area, but out the door. I know what I look like. I do. I know I have bright red hair with a pixie haircut. I have a bunch of tattoos. But I'm kind of shy. Kind of am. I'm also a perfectionist. But that is what it is. So I run outside. This guy, male, shows up to where I'm standing outside. And I'm smoking a real cigarette in comparison to an e-cigarette. And I'm on my phone. I'm just This guy walks up and he goes, "Oh, are you texting somebody that's not going to show up?" And I look up and I go, "No, I'm here by myself and I'm just on the internet." Okay? Thanks. Go back to... I have a feeling there are some people who have a reference for that particular aspect, but it is what it is. So I'm just and the guy, he won't leave me alone. He goes, "I'm not hitting on you. There's, you know, my wife over there." I look at you. So she mouthed that she was sorry for her husband that she knew was going to act in the manner that he was going to be. I've been a part of lifestyle stuff for a while, so I'm just, you're whatever, it's okay. So I continue going back to my phone and just doing what I'm doing. And the guy, he goes, "Oh, well, if you're not texting someone, then what are you doing on your phone?" And I'm on the internet, okay? Duh. And the guy looks and he goes, "Oh!" And I put my phone away. "What is your problem? Why are you, what is this? What is this? What are you doing?" And the guy, he's just, oh, it's so amazing. I have internet on my phone too." Cool. Yeah, phones have had internet for a while. And wait till you see what's going to be coming out as far as technology is concerned. But yeah, phones have had internet for a while. And so the guy, he looks at me and goes, no, I went from a flip phone to a Galaxy." Oh. Okay. I guess I can be kinder than I've been. Okay, fine. So, yeah, it's a thing. And he goes on, and then I said something like "squared away." And the guy, he goes, "Oh my God, are you an army brat?" I look at him, no. I signed on the dotted line myself. Okay, and I know that there are females out there who have signed on the dotted line, whichever branch of the United States of America's Armed Forces, law enforcement, fire department, and EMS, who very much understand that. And so, no, I signed the dotted line all by myself. I'm not an army brat. Then he goes, oh my God. Yeah, what? Just trying to enjoy the evening. Do you mind? It's, oh no, oh my God, like, I was in the army too. Great. So I lean against the fence, because I'm just like, this is going to be one of these situations, and I just really don't have patience for this. I really just wanted to have a few minutes to myself to enjoy some music at a concert. Go ahead.
I know that I sound probably really conceited at that point, but I just really needed a few minutes. That's all I really needed. It wasn't asking much, especially with what was going on at the time.
So he calls over his friends, and he points to one, and one on the left, he points to him, he goes, this is, I can't remember his name, I apologize. He's from California, and he was in the Navy. And I'm like, oh, hi, Squid, how you doing? And the guy just, did you just call me a squid? Yes, I did. You love squid. Squids are good. I like squids. Yeah, they're good. They're important. And then he points to the person who I wound up in Washington State with, and he goes, oh, this guy is from a small town in San Antonio, and, or outside of San Antonio, and he was an officer in the Air Force. And I look, I'm like, okay, what's up, Zoomy? And he kind of, ha, 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 ha. Well, the other two, they go, what's so funny about Zoomy? The Air Force thing. Before your time, airplanes, they go zoom, they go fast. Especially certain airplanes, they go really fast. So zoom, 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 zoom. And Kevin and then the Navy guy just, okay. So then the females are off to the corner, and it's just against the wall, and they're whatevering amongst themselves. And then the male, Kevin, looks at me and goes, so, where are you from? Huh, Army? I was born and raised in New, and when I said New, the two males took a step backwards, and then I said Jur, and they took another couple steps backwards, and then I said Z, and they were against the wall, and the fence on the other side of the smoking section. Kevin then steps forward and says, well, I'm from Louisiana, and I'm a Cajun, and I have never met anybody who's from New Jersey. And my response was, I've never met a white Cajun before.
So for those who don't know, let me pronounce
how that male Kevin said that he was from Louisiana. Hi, Kevin lived in and was raised in Louisiana. I'm a Cajun from New Orleans. Those who have met people who are actual Cajuns from Nolens, from Louisiana, know exactly the difference. There is a difference in that accent. So if that comes across as racist for calling him a white Cajun, I was referring to the paper that he must have read those words off of. Anyway, so I am left alone a little bit. They go off, they come back. I speak with the female from the night before. The group goes off and comes back multiple times. I'm trying to calm down my headache pain levels enough to go inside to actually see the country music concert, and I couldn't. And then it was intermission time. And then it was, music that I grew up listening to, but not, there was a little bit of Yin Yang Twins, which I like the Yin Yang Twins. I mean, they were playing Wu-Tang Clan. I do like Wu-Tang Clan. I grew up listening to Wu-Tang. I grew up listening to a lot of stuff. Again, listening, not seeing. I didn't have cable in the house that I grew up in New Jersey, so I didn't get to see MTV or VH1 when it was whatever, except for when I was at my friends' houses. Otherwise, I have no idea, realistically, and that, again, that was before my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000, so I have no idea what anybody actually looks like. So I have no idea what Lil' Kim looks like. I have no idea what Foxy Brown looks like. I have no idea what Christina Aguilera looks like, mainly in regards as far as the technology stuff. because of my headaches and migraines. So when I look at any screen, it is not the same to me as seeing them in person. So unless Eminem were to walk up and be like, hey, I wouldn't know. Unless Ludacris were to walk up to me and be like, hey, I wouldn't know if Nelly himself or the entire Wu-Tang Clan or NWA minus walked up to me and were like, hey, if Ice-T and Ice Cube were to walk up to me, the only way I would know them as Ice-T and Ice Cube is if they were to introduce themselves as such. It's not to be rude. I just don't know. I listen on the radio. Again, I don't know what Reba McEntire looks like, and it is funny that she has a song on the radio. I'm just throwing that out there. So, I have no idea what Garth Brooks looks like. I have no idea what the Judds look like. I have no idea what Dolly Parton looks like. I have no idea what George Strait looks like. I have no idea what Tim McGraw looks like. I have no idea what Faith Hill looks like. And I have no idea what Carrie Underwood looks like or Dierks Bentley. I know what Dustin Lynch looks like only because I went to his concert in Washington State. That's the only reason why I know what he I kind of know what he looks like, because I only saw him twice, and the first time in Steel Creek, in Tacoma, yeah, I got to see better in comparison to at Emerald Casino. That, I mean, I heard, I heard the music from the breezeway. But anyway, so go back to the Stoney LaRue concert at Cowboys Dancehall. There was the music going on, and I was like, okay. And Kevin, the white Cajun, hey, white chocolate. I knew a few guys with that nickname when I was growing up. Anyway, up in New Jersey, when I was growing up in New Jersey, I knew a few guys named White Chocolate. Anyway, so that white Cajun, that wasn't Cajun. But anyway, he said that he and his wife and the males with him would leave me alone if I went and danced to the music with them. Okay. Fine, I'll dance. I'm not going to dance how I know how to dance, because, no, I not with how I look. No. But I'll do the little white boy shuffle, do a little side to side, do a little raise the roof, but actually on beat in comparison. There is a difference. And, I'm not going to just, I'm not going to do that. It is what it is. So, and I do know how to do, obviously. And so, I go outside after, I think Beyonce was on. It was Beyonce. And go outside, and from the top of the stairs to the ramp, down to the smoking section, Kevin goes, hey! And I'm talking with the female that I had met the night before. And we're in the smoking section, she's smoking, I'm smoking, we're talking and stuff like that. He comes down with the group of females and males, and then he makes fun of me for not dancing. I explained to him, not here for you. Not here to dance for you, not here to dance with you, not here to actually do anything involving you. I came here for the country music Stoney LaRue concert. I'm not here for you, Kevin. And he yip. The female and I that are talking, we're just having a good time. And then Kevin goes and says, that corset you're wearing, it's ugly and it probably is just holding back your fat rolls. His wife, at the point where I just, would you mind holding my purse, please? And those who have experience in certain locations understand. So I give her the equivalent of my purse. And Kevin's wife goes and says, you know, when she's done eating your soul, you are to present a beer in each hand on one knee. I'm just, yeah, yeah, And so, mind holding my jacket too, please? Thanks. And so the female, she's got this boot on her leg as she's walking away, and she goes, you have fun. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she goes, green light. I'm like, that's cool. So as Kevin is, yip, 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 I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you something. You have the nerve and audacity to go run your mouth about my corset? I don't know who you think you're talking to, running your mouth about my corset. Oh, no, you didn't. Just run your mouth about my corset, which is essentially what happened with the nail. Yeah, you want to say, what? Hold that. What? What about my corset? What'd you say? You call me fat? You call me what? What did you just say, boy? And he just, and so then I rip into him on his dancing because he was tying his shoelace. And he did not even realize there was this huge, tall Bubba. Like, he was so much taller than me. And he had this big old cowboy hat on. And so he was huge compared to me. I'm like this tall. He's much taller. He's very short. I'm only 5'4". And so, you know, I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, I know who wears a strap-on in your household because your wife was humping your head while you were tying your shoelace. And that big old Bubba was just humping your head, and now, yeah, I know who bends it over, right, Kevin? You're the one who bends it over, aren't you? Yeah, you take it like a good boy, don't you? And I'm literally putting my corset on at that time. I'm like, so yeah, you want to run your mouth about my corset? Oh, no, you didn't run your mouth about my corset. Oh, I don't think so. I don't know who you think you're talking to running your mouth about my corsets. I don't think so. And so the female is just standing there going, oh my God, like you just took your corset off and you're just going to put it back on. Can I help you with that? No, I got this. I got it. I know how to put my corsets on. You don't know. Boy, run his mouth about my corset. I don't know who you think. Yeah, you never met anybody from New Jersey before. You just did. You just did. And so, at this point in time, the San Antonio police show up. And I'm just, and running my mouth and telling Kevin exactly what I think and blah, blah, blah while tying up my corset. And then Kevin goes and starts calling the police officers names. What'd you say? So I stopped tying up my corset. I was like, I know you aren't running your mouth about the boys who are here to save you. I know that. They're here to save you from me. And he was just like, they're not here to save me from you. You're just a girl and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't think you... I don't know if I should put this corset on or take it off. Or you better be nice to the police officer. In this corset. I don't think you know. You run your mouth about my corset. Oh, no, you didn't. You don't know. You don't know. And the female, she's standing there. She goes, I can't believe you're putting your own corset back on. I'm like, yeah, and while I'm putting on my corset, I'm defending the police officers. Yes, I am. You best take that back. You better take that back, Kevin. You better not say that about the police officers. They're here to save you. And he's like, no, they're not. And I'm like, yes, they are. They went and talked to your squid friend. And your squid friend was like, yeah, she's from New Jersey. And, like, all the guys that were coming up behind you at first went behind me to come up and save you from me because they know what someone like me stereotypically does, but I'm just me, so I don't actually do that. unless you mess with me, and then I will take that stereotype to a very different level. Very different level. You don't know. You just got to meet New Jersey. And so, which is funny that one of my nails popped off, because that's the that is the equivalent. So I'm going to redo that one portion and on this particular video broadcast, because there are those from the East Coast in New Jersey and New York in the 5 boroughs that know what this equivalent is in regards to taking off a corset, because it's not the same. I'm going to do it in a minute. You know, there is the equivalent of pop, pop, pop. And, you know, I did have an underbust corset on at the time instead of an overbust corset, especially with sleeves in that regard. But the equivalent, for those of you who don't know, the equivalent of that is, oh, you want to say what? Because, and throwing on the ground, because there's no point to save the nails after you're done ripping them off, because if you're from where I grew up walking around, you can get that no problem. You know how to handle things. So me taking my corset off was the equivalent, for those who know, of doing that. I'm just saying, there are females and males who know exactly what that means in that regard. Because I don't wear earrings, except for when I've done pictures. So you guys have a good one. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel. And have a good one.